Hello, Sanbonani, Orange Army. Welcome to yet another episode of In Conversation here on UJTV. Kamalamgo Zethembe M. I am your host, and I'm excited for today's conversation. We are joined by two incredible ladies. They are part of the UJenius Club here at the University of Johannesburg. Our first guest is Nkhensani Makondo. She's fourth year LLB student under the Faculty of Law, as well as Kirsty Jansen van Vuuren, who is second year in her Bachelor of Accounting degree under the Faculty of College of Business and Economics. I said that right, Kirsty?
Yes.
It is College of Business and Economics,
Yes.
right? Incredible. Ladies, a very, good morning to you. We're shooting this in the morning, by the way. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for
Thank
also
you,
having us.
I'm excited to have you guys. I want us to, just dive into your guys' academic journeys here at the University of Johannesburg, especially as top achieving students, truly. I'm excited also because your guys' degrees, I've had a taste of both. So I am a Bachelor of Laws student, and during our first year, you would agree with me here, Ms. Makondo, we choose an elective, right?
Yes.
That is not legal. There's your psychology, there's your business management administration, and one of those is accounting, and that is what I chose. So truly, I'm a person who has dived into both the worlds. So I can't wait for us to just dive into this. Starting with you, Kirsty, talk to me about what led you to choosing this degree in the first place.
Okay, so funny enough, I actually hated accounting in grade 8 and 9.
Yeah.
I almost failed accounting
Okay.
quite a few times, but then COVID hit and something in me just changed. I really wanted to improve. I really wanted to do better in the subject, and I kind of just fell in love with it. And a lot of people in my family are chartered accountants, so I definitely had the inspiration and people to look up to. And yeah, then I figured out how it works. There's someone who they refer to as the father of accounting.
Yeah.
And he invented the debits on the left, credits on the right. For every debit, there's a credit. He invented that, and I figured that whole principle out and why things are like that, and I kind of just fell in love with it.
And how long do you think it took for you to get the gist of it? Because as I told you, I did accounting first year. Well, that wasn't easy.
Well, in school, accounting is very different than it is at varsity. I was one of those people who were like, oh, I loved accounting in school, let me go study it. And then I got a surprise, it is quite different.
Yeah.
But I would say it took me about a semester to actually get used to, what actually goes on in accounting, because there's actually a lot more to it than just, debits on the left and credits on the right. It's a lot deeper,
It's a lot deeper. And if you don't mind, if you can dive into that, because I'm thinking maybe a grade 12, a grade 11 learner is watching and they think it's going to be the same thing when they get to uni. What do you think then becomes different when you get to the uni side of things?
You actually realize that being an accountant or being a chartered accountant, you actually have a very important job. I mean, just something that I learned is that other people's money, it's actually in your hands.
Yeah.
Like there are people who trust you. If you go audit a company, you need to make sure that other people's investments are safe.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people understand that it's your job to determine whether something is ethical or not ethical. And it's very important to also understand that you have to be an ethical person.
Yeah.
Because obviously someone can come to you and say, okay, I'll give you some money on the side and, just keep quiet about this. But you need to know that you have the personality to really be an ethical person and, look after other people's money. Not, you can't be selfish.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if someone loses all their money, it's not about you, it's about them.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
And moving to you, Nkhensani, fourth year LLB here at the University of Johannesburg. What did you see in society, or what happened in your life that made you say, I want to do this degree?
Well, with me, it was a whole different reason why I chose law.
Yeah.
Well, with most people, they'd be like, I've always wanted to be a lawyer because there was a gap in society that I wanted to change. But with me, no. It all started during COVID, the lockdown. I was doing grade 11, and we had just had a conversation with my parents. They were asking what I want to do when I finished grade 12. And by that time, I had no idea.
Sure.
So they were like, just go for CA, chartered accountant,
Yeah.
because I was doing commercial subjects in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, I did accounting, business studies, and economics, and pure math. And I told them, no, I don't like math. My dad likes math, but, well,
He didn't give you
to
the
him,
plate.
math is like drinking water,
Sure.
but he didn't give us the math.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I don't want calculations in my life, Dad. And then I was like, I want to be a judge. Yeah. I told him I want to be a judge.
Sure.
And then he was like, you want to be a judge, what are you going to study? And then I said, what Google tells me. I looked up on Google.
That's
I didn't
what I'm gonna
ask anyone.
Sure.
I didn't ask anyone. Google told me like you have to be a lawyer first.
Yeah.
Be an attorney, like you have to have that with experience. You know how attorneys argue in court, how advocates argue in court, and everything like that. And I was like, I'll study law.
I like what I see here.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. What I'm noticing also, ladies, is that COVID-19 was not also bad. There was a moment of reflection for a lot of
Yes.
us. We found ourselves, a lot of self-discovery, because we spend a lot of time with ourselves now, instead of always just being outside and having the noise of the world actually affect us and our decisions, right? So I really, really love that. And did it become what you expected it to be when you started? Because, you know, for me, Nkhensani, I remember that I used to think because I'm a great speaker, I would love to believe I am. I thought that is what it was about, you know, going to court all the time. And since I've started, I've only gone twice for the moot court experience. Other than that, it's just theory, writing. I'm just like, this is not what I signed up for. Was it what you expected?
Well, when I was making the decision, I was, because my family was against it, I was told that there will be a lot of reading.
Yeah.
And you're gonna cry because there's a lot of reading. You have to read newspapers and everything and all that. So in my mind, I was like, okay, to get to my end goal, I have to make sure that I'm prepared to be able to read a lot of books, judgments and everything. And I would say, yeah, it's much more like, on a scale of 10, I would say 7 of what I was expecting.
Okay.
With the reading
That's
part,
good.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say like I came prepared knowing that I'll have a lot of studying and reading to do.
Reading to do.
But the
That's
drafting part, I've always thought that is part of the paralegal's job. I didn't
Yes,
know
no,
that with us, we had to draft our own heads of argument, and
Yeah.
that was a whole new thing to me. And I was,
Sure,
and
sure.
because I hate writing and everything, I just have to.
Just stick it through till the end. Love
Yeah.
that. Speaking of writing, I really believe that after my 4 years of doing this degree, I, in a way, have become such a better writer. Right? That is what it has trained me to do. And this is not a skill that, you know, generally can just be only attached to law. Do you guys think you have that with your degrees, respectively, where you say, I think I've learned this skill that is not so much linked only just to my degree, but through this degree?
I would actually say that it's not something academic related that I've learned. I've learned people skills and understanding.
Sure.
So where I come from, my high school experience, everyone was the same. Everyone was Afrikaans, and that was what I was used to, you know. And then I came to varsity, and here everyone speaks a different language. You think, okay, cool, if I learn one more language, I'll be fine. But then the next person you speak to, they speak a different language.
Sure.
So I really learned how to, you know, understand other people and how to connect with people who are different than I am. And it's something that I'll take with me for the rest of my life, and that I'll nurture for the rest of my life, because I've also learned so much about different cultures and religions, like why people, like I said, I really like learning why people think in certain ways, and I learned a lot about that. So
That's incredible. Nkhensani, what is it for you?
So with me, I'll go both generally and specifically. So specifically, I would say it's time management.
Okay.
Well, we had this guest lecture in second year. I do love giving credits. It was organized by Dr. Khan.
Okay.
I think she's now a prof.
Yes.
Yes. And then it was, our speaker was a prof. I don't know if she is still around. She's from DFC. And then she like gave us like tips on how to manage our time. It was such a reflective guest lecture. I'd be like, okay, I didn't know some of these things. And to get to where I want, like pass this degree with flying colors that I want, and to be able to do extracurricular activities and everything, I have to be able to manage my time.
Sure.
And then the one that is generally is, you know, as a student, you're now in the adulthood.
Yeah.
You now do things by yourself.
Sure.
That has taught me patience. I never had that, because everything was like, parents, please do
Yeah.
everything for me.
Yeah.
But now I get to the university world, adulthood, I have to do everything by myself.
Yeah.
And everyone, when you want help, let's say you go to a bank. Oh my gosh. You take time there. You're going to spend the whole day just want to open another card, something like that. I mean,
there's just a lot of adulting to do. Then
Yeah.
you get to be patient with yourself even, because things don't always go our way. We're doing this for the first time. We've never been adults before.
Yes.
So things won't always go your way, which really does require patience in, just
Yeah.
trying to face those. Absolutely love that. Speaking of uni and adulting, I don't know if it's just me, but when it comes to university, I just have this feeling that it's like a training ground of some sort for adulthood, because we're adults but not really, in a way that yes, you are managing money, but it comes from other sources, so that it trains you so much now that by the time you get to actually manage your own money that you made yourself, you've actually been trained and you know the skills that apply to that. So more than anything, top of the list, I would say that university is just eye-opening. For you, what would be the 3 words that fully describe university experience?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
Have you been to Gold Reef City?
Not yet.
Have you been to
planning
Gold
I've
Reef
been there. Yes, I've been there.
There's this swing, whatever it's called.
Yes.
It's called Terror of War. Have you
Okay.
been to that one?
Yes, I've
Like-
never been on it because I'm a bit of a baby, but
So what
Okay.
happens is that it takes you up.
Okay.
It lets you wait for like a few seconds
Okay.
and then drags you down in like a few
Like that
seconds.
kind of whoops.
And you'll be looking at the floor
Okay.
if you don't close your eyes.
Sure.
So I would say my university experience has been a terror of war. I don't want to lie. Like Bachelor of Laws.
Yes, I agree.
Because one moment you'll be like, okay, I must start this thing.
Sure.
A lecturer will come to class.
Yeah.
Be like, no, baby girl, the law has changed.
Yeah.
A judgment was held yesterday.
But now,
What you're saying is history.
Yeah.
And you know what the law says. We
Sure.
can't apply things that have been
yeah.
repealed or amended or something like that. And then you'll be like, okay, let me just go.
Yeah.
Let me give it another try.
Sure.
You try to study, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
They tell you that you're not studying enough. You know that being a lawyer is all about reading
Until you get it.
until you get it.
Sure.
And it's just like everything is just pushed to you. You are trying your best. There are tests, the assessments, and you
sure.
know, as a law student, this course is very demanding. It's not
Quite.
only about you having good marks, you being a UJenius member and everything. You also have to have extracurricular activities.
Sure.
And then at that point, you'd be like, okay, everything is happening.
Yeah,
They're telling me to read this. I have to balance it with my extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do now? Like everything is just on me, and they expect me to have good marks. They
Sure.
expect me to have skills other than being
Just these ones. Absolutely. And so in essence, what would you say then for somebody who's watching? They've never been to university. They want to fully and in their mind be able to just understand what it would mean to be in university. So with all those things that you've said, your 3 words are
terror of war.
terror of war. Got you, girl. Got you, girl. Go to Gold Reef City, by the way, if you want to experience what terror of war is all about. Kirsty, moving to you. What would you say are the 3 words that describe your uni experience?
So mine are actually 3 separate words. So definitely educational, but in more than one way, not
Yeah.
just in an academic way. But like I said, I've experienced a lot of things, and it taught me how to be the person that I am.
Sure.
It also, determination, it's hard work.
Yeah.
University is hard work. And then definitely also exciting. You know, I must say my departments and, you know, most of the accountancy and the College of Business and Economics, they really make an effort to, you know, hold events for us with the firms. So especially big 4 firms, but also some of the medium firms. I've learned so much from, you know, just experiencing those things about the firms that I didn't even know. Like before I came to uni, okay, this is probably something that I shouldn't be saying because it's embarrassing. I didn't know what the big 4 was. So it's
yeah?
just
No
4
one
big
did.
accounting firms. But
Sure.
I didn't know what that was. So
Yeah.
I came here, and then in first year they were like, so do you guys know what the Big Four is? I was like, no. So I've learned a lot, you know. It's definitely very educational, it's very fun, and it is demanding. So yeah,
Love that. And I love that you speak of the Big Four firms within the accountancy, you know, industry of work, because we actually have something similar. But before I jump into that, how do you think then that exposure to those companies, that exposure to those industry experts has shaped your university experience?
Honestly, I would say it definitely gave me a direction, like where I want to go, because I can tell you that the Big Four, it's not for everyone.
Sure.
So, and that's something that you need to learn that about yourself. You need to know, you know, can I see myself there? And something that UJ taught me, or the lecturers taught me, is go do VAC work.
Sure.
You know, go experience the culture of the companies. Do you see yourself, I'm going to use their words, crying there for the 3 years of your articles? And I actually ended up picking a firm, and I have my interview next week. Sure. But I wouldn't have known where to go if it wasn't for, you know, the lecturers and what UJ has taught me.
Love
so,
that. Shout out to the College of Business and Economics for that. Moving to you, Nkhensani, we do have that as well. For the Faculty of Law hosting those expos where they invite, we have the Big Five now, law firms and other firms actually just in general to come through and give us that direction. How do you think that for you has shaped your academic experience at large?
Well, I would say it's similar to Kirsty's experience. But with me, I have actually had an opportunity to go and do work at one of the big law firms, Bowman's.
Beautiful.
And, you know, when you are there, well, I was still doing my third year, and all we had done since first year and since from first year and third year was only one mod court, right? And the other things was just assessments, like just write essays and everything.
Sure.
But when you get to the real world, you see, good, okay, in second year, you did law of delicts, and then you were just applying law of delict principles, that's it, and everything. But when you get to the law firm, they give you a legal issue you have to solve. And then you realize, oh no, it's not only law of delict that is applicable, it's what other principles, like you also have to apply what law of property, something like that. And at that moment you'll be like, okay, I was just cramming, passing, I was getting my marks and everything. Then the real work starts there. You'll be like, oh my gosh, I've been fooling myself from day one. You have to know that it's like building blocks, like what Megan would always say in admin, like everything is a building block. Yeah,
it truly is. It builds to one another.
Yeah, so it's not a matter of you just passing and forgetting all about it, but you have to always have it in the back of your mind. Okay, if you are faced with a legal issue, what are you supposed to do next? What are the skills that you were taught in class? Like, how do you approach a legal issue? Yes.
I love that. I love that. And what would you say then? Because I know that the University of Johannesburg has a lot of platforms within the institution. Your psych-heads, your ACDs, the Academic Development Center. These are to help us with our university experience, with our academic experience, so that it's not too hard, you know, because it is hard, but just to help mitigate that. Which resource does the university offer that you feel like students are overlooking in a way? That you say, I went to PsychEd, it really helped with my mental health, and I feel like a lot of students are not taking advantage of that free service that they can get from there. Do you have any of those resources of the university that have just really amplified your academic experience at large?
For me, it would actually be PsychEd, because I feel like mental health is something that isn't spoken about enough. I feel like a lot of people feel like their problems aren't big enough, and like they don't have to go to PsychEd because it's not that bad. And you know, other people are also stressing. It's normal. And I feel like we should start speaking about that more, and people should start reaching out to PsychEd and you know, going there, because like for me, in my personal experience, I do suffer from depression, and until I get my mental health, you know, where it should be, and to a place where I can say, okay, I'm okay, I can't do anything else. You know, it affects everything, it affects everything. And I just want to say to the students, it's important to look after yourself. You know, but yeah, it is. And also just the CAT departments.
Sure.
I want to give a shout out to them. Whenever I've had an issue with my computer or whatever, they always, you know, help me out. I'm not very computer savvy, so yeah.
No, man, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Love that the university has been able to just come through for you in times where you needed it to.
Definitely.
So, Nkhensani, what has it been for you?
Well, with me, it's the writing center.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Because, you know, when you transition from high school, the questions that you are given, it's more like, okay, what is your name? Nkhensani, just write your name.
Yeah.
But when you get to varsity, although a lot of people might say that they don't have essay assignments or something like that, but writing skill is a need. It's more like a need, just that people don't say it.
Yeah.
Because in all faculties, if you have that writing skill, you can make something of it. Let's say you're doing psychology, ne?
Yeah.
If maybe you'll be like, okay, I want to write something that's gonna help. It's a skill that you got from school.
Sure.
It's not all about you going to class and be like, okay, I have to have good marks and be like, I have to get a job. Maybe you have something in you that you learned, or you feel like, okay, psychology people haven't done, and you want to put it out there. How are you going to put it? You just have to write it down and get it published. So with me, how it has helped me is being able to structure my arguments, honestly. Because, you know, as a lawyer, you should know how to structure your arguments. When you get to court, you should be able to convince the magistrate or the judge. Like, okay, this is the point that I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
And if your writing is bad, like how how Mrs. Bear will always tell us in law clinic, like, you have to know how to write, guys. You might think that we are trying to better you, but if you can't write,
you don't have a career,
you don't.
Yeah.
The judge or magistrate is gonna tell you,
Sure. And adding to this, you guys, I really want to find out how UJenius now has been able to just, I would say, affect and impact your academic journeys, right? The university has offered these, but now you're part of the UJenius Club as well. One wonders what happens there, because a lot of us are looking from outside, right? Like, looks like the cool kids are there. What is actually happening in UJenius?
The UJenius Club really, it makes me excited about my studies. So sometimes I'll just sit there and I want to give up and just settle for posh, you know, but then I know I really want to be part of the UJenius Club, you know, it makes me excited. Sure. And I must say something that also I feel it's going to add a lot of value to my CV, you know, when the firms see it, they're going to know, okay, this is someone who, you know, works hard, and at the end of the day, you want some sort of acknowledgement for working hard, you know. I mean, obviously you can pass with distinction, but it's just something extra, and it really just adds a lot more to the excitement of the whole varsity experience.
Love that you touched on the CV just becoming a bit more beautiful. I think we overlook the impact of our academic journeys and how they can impact the later stage when we start to look for employment opportunities. So I love that you touch on that as well. Nkhensani, what has it been for you? UJenius, what has it done in your life? What has the impact been to your academic, you know, career?
In 2023, we had an opportunity to go to Birmingham. So it was an excursion for LLB students who are under the UJenius. Yeah. And then after that, we got hoodies for that. So the experience going to Bowman's and getting a free hoodie from UJ, I mean,
you don't just get
yeah, it's very rare.
Sure.
And then how has it motivated me in my studies? So when I did criminal law, I was bad in that module.
Sure.
So that's the reason why third year I couldn't be part of UJenius Club.
Sure.
I was demotivated.
Okay, so gang, you get in, you get out.
Yeah, you get in, you get out. So you see, it's like, I don't know how to put it, but it's motivating because you're just pushing, be like,
to be done.
Yeah, you'd be like, okay, if I'm out, it means I haven't done much. I have to put much work. So when I got kicked out, I was like, I have to put in much work.
I'm going back there.
Sure. And then I was kind of scared because, you know, in second year we have criminal law, and then in third year we have criminal procedure.
Yes.
I was like, nah, I'm never going back.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let me just kiss it goodbye.
Sure.
But then, I don't know. I was just like, just put in the work,
Just put in the
Nkhensani.
work.
Yeah.
I love that. It happens all the time. You get to taste something so good that the moment you start not experiencing it, you're like, something is short, man. Oh, I need a short dive. So I love the fact that that motivated you to
Well,
go
here
back.
you are. So
Yeah.
Here you
I'm
are.
back.
We love having you back.
Yeah,
Now, where are you guys going with your degrees? Once had a conversation with a lady who was doing Bachelor of Laws. She said, I'm going straight for Chief Justice rather, which is the highest position in the judiciary system here in South Africa. What would it be for you in Nkhensani as you do your LLB? Where do you hope to see yourself land in the future?
Just because stated.
Sure.
Yeah. So my reason behind studying law was to be a judge. So either a magistrate or a justice.
Yeah.
That's enough.
That's enough.
Chief
You'll know
Justice.
that I've done it.
Chief Justice maybe as I go forward, but what my end goal is at the moment,
Sure.
a magistrate or a justice.
Beautiful.
Yes.
I love that. And
If-
for you, you may continue.
So if I don't get that, it means I haven't done what I started this journey for.
The hunger will still remain until you get
Yes.
there. I love the motivation right there. Kirsty, what is it for you? I know there's a lot of people, I was seeing on social media a few weeks ago, there's a lot of CASA.
Yes, the ITC results.
You know,
Yes.
what is it for you? Where do you hope to end up with
So
your degree?
this degree, the way that they structure it here at UJ, it's
Yeah.
actually very CA or Chartered Accountant specific.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
literally when you apply, it says Bachelor of Accounting, and in brackets it says CA stream.
Mm-hmm.
So it would seem quite obvious that that's the end goal, to
Sure.
become CA.
Sure.
But for me, it's a little bit more than that.
Mm.
So maybe I would love to be like a CFO of a bank one day, like maybe one of the big banks like ABSA, Standard Bank. It
My
would be.
girl. Yeah.
But honestly, if I can just make it to CA, I'll still be happy because it's a big achievement. You
It's a
know,
big
like
feat.
to
Absolutely.
get there is tough. Like
Sure.
7 years of hard work.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Lovely. Can't wait to see you guys achieve this. You will. We are just cheering behind you. But as we close things off, someone is watching. Maybe they're getting tired. The academics do train you. They do discourage you when things are not really going your way. What advice would you give to that person, starting with you, Kirsty?
Honestly, remember your why.
Sure.
That is my advice to you. Remember why you started.
Yeah.
And live in the moment. Don't always be so worried about where are things going. Like, yes, it is important to have a goal,
Yeah.
but enjoy the moment. Live in the moments.
Sure.
Be present. And you know what? Be grateful for everything that you have.
Yeah.
And celebrate the little things. You know what? If a test was really hard and you think, oh, I don't know, I don't think I made it, and you made it, be happy, celebrate, you know, just be happy about the things that you're experiencing now.
Sure.
And then by the time you reach your end goal, you'll actually be like, okay, I'm so happy that I lived in the moment, that
Yeah.
I didn't just keep looking at what I want to achieve, and I celebrated all my achievements along the way. I
Yeah.
think that that's very important.
That's beautiful. Nkhensani, you've got the audience. What do you have to say as an advice?
Well, I'm a religious girl.
Okay.
So the first thing I would say, if you're feeling drowned or anything, just know that God is there.
Sure.
Like, He knows what you are hoping for.
Yeah.
As long as you kneel down, pray to Him, everything is going to get well.
Sure.
And for me, whenever I feel like, okay, I am down and out,
Yeah.
I always call my grandma. And she has this one quote from a singer. His name is Thembanyati.
Sure.
The song is Shitalunga, meaning it's gonna be okay.
Sure.
So just have faith and just
Always keeps you afloat.
and remember the why, as Kirsty mentioned.
Yeah.
If you know the why and you're able to pray, there's nothing that you cannot do, honestly.
Yeah.
Everything will fall into place.
Sure.
So just be religious and
Beautiful.
have faith.
Beautiful, ladies. Thank you so much. I think it's one thing to apply one of each of these advices, but applying them both might just get you somewhere way, way higher than where you are right now, Orange Army. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining us. It was lovely conversing with you. I'm inspired, and truly, your stories have inspired me. Thank you so much. All the best going forward.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
There you have it, Orange Army. This is Nkhensani Makondo, 4th year LLB student here at UJ, as well as Kirsty Jansen van Vuuren, who is second year in her Bachelor of Accounting degree here at the University of Johannesburg. They're both part of the UJenius Club. Let us know in the comments down below how their stories inspired you. Other than that, be sure that you subscribe, you like, and you share this video with your friends. Until next time, Zethembe, bye-bye and God bless.